Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Tomlin gives early injury updates for Steelers vs. Raiders. The Pittsburgh Steelers played a beleaguered Dallas Cowboys team in Week 5, but fell short in a heartbreaking 20-17 loss. On Sunday, they'll get a chance to redeem themselves and end the two-game skid against a Las Vegas Raiders team barely staying afloat. Pittsburgh will travel to Sin City as quarterback Justin Fields plays for his right to remain atop the depth chart. But the Steelers won't be heading west at their healthiest. On Tuesday, Pittsburgh head coach Mike Tomlin spoke to reports and outlined who had already been ruled out for Sunday's festivities. The early news isn't kind to Pittsburgh. Highsmith is the Robin to TJ Watt's Batman, but Herbig has been impeccable in his absence and as a third edge rusher. It's hard to stop Watt on any given Sunday. But if the Raiders have any chance at limiting his potential carnage, being able to focus on one edge rushers instead of 2 or 3 is probably the most likely path. Patterson's absence may loom large, too. He's been Pittsburgh's most explosive rusher, and with Warren doubtful for Sunday, the Steelers are likely headed for another day of the running back Najee Harris getting the lion's share of the work. Given the recent struggles of the ground game, that shouldn't be overlooked in either the short or long term. Fields hasn't had to prove himself from the pure drop-back game, aside from 2 quarters against the Indianapolis Colts, and another poor performance could be his last as a starter. The Steelers are banged up, but they're favored by a field goal anyway. If this team is as strong as its September showcased, overcoming injuries is a necessity. They'll have that chance on Sunday. Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver George Pickens appeared to be manifesting a huge performance in Week 5, with the message "open, expletive," always written on his eye black. Unfortunately, that was not the case as the game progressed and the Steelers star finished with just 26 receiving yards against the Dallas Cowboys. Although, the real head-scratcher after Pittsburgh's 20-17 loss was Pickens' snap count, which appeared to be limited by the coaching staff on Sunday night. "We just wanted to kind of minimize his reps in an effort to get more productivity," Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin said after the game, addressing a question on Pickens' usage, or lack thereof. Steelers LB Patrick Queen sends 4-word reminder to fans after Cowboys loss. After losing 2 straight games to the Indianapolis Colts and Dallas Cowboys, the Pittsburgh Steelers have dropped from 3-0 to 3-2 in the blink of an eye, and a contingent of fans are beginning to get a bit restless. With that in mind, on October 8, Steelers linebacker Patrick Queen posted a brief reminder on social media. The message produced over 3.3K likes and over 100,000 views in 7 hours, but it also appeared to frustrate some of Queen's followers considering the linebacker isn't coming off his best stretch of games since joining the Steelers. "Make a expletive play," the top comment read. And another user replied, "Call Davante Adams as soon as possible please." Having said that, there were some within the Pittsburgh community that showed Queen and the Steelers some support. "I think everyone was just cranky that they had to stay up so late. Keep fighting, brother," one follower said. And finally, a 4th response urged Queen to show out on Sunday, adding that the Steelers need a bounce-back game. The Steelers' defense has tailed off the past 2 weeks, and that's contributed to their losses just as much as the offensive deficiencies have. Although the Cowboys only scored 20 points in Week 5, Dallas drove up and down the field with ease, accumulating 445 total yards of offense. And if not for multiple red zone turnovers, it probably would have been a very different scoreline on Sunday night. The issues on the defensive side, according to head coach Mike Tomlin on October 8, have partially stemmed from breakdowns in communication. That would make sense, considering the Steelers' numbers in pass coverage. Queen himself has not been great in this area, but he's not alone and the recent struggles have been collective. Undrafted rookie slot CB Beanie Bishop Jr. has allowed 201 yards and 2 touchdowns in coverage over the first 5 weeks according to Pro Football Focus. Fellow cornerbacks Joey Porter Jr. and Dante Jackson are not far behind though, with 144 yards apiece. Then there's Queen, at 140 yards allowed, including an opposing passer rating of 108.3. Safeties Minkah Fitzpatrick and Damontae Kazee round out the group of Steelers defenders that have been charged with more than 100 yards through the air through 5 games. If it was just Queen's below-average marks and pass coverage that were the only problem, Steelers fans might be able to live with that. The middle linebackers' run defense has been the bigger issue, however, and it's been a major problem so far, according to PFF. Queen has missed 8 tackles compared to 5 key defensive stops since joining the Steelers, 7 of which have come in run defense. That performance has yielded an awful stop percentage of 1.7% in run defense and a missed tackle percentage of 29.2%. He's also allowed an average of 5.6 rush yards per tackle. When asked about Queen's early struggles during a mailbag article on October 8, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette beat reporter Ray Fittipaldo blamed the added responsibilities that come with wearing the green dot on defense. "It is taking some time for Queen to find his footing," Fittipaldo acknowledged. "There are reasons for it. Queen has a lot on his plate as the QB of the defense," the beat writer went on. "He is making all the calls and has a lot of responsibility. Some of the issues in coverage are because of poor communication. He's new and he's probably not playing fast because he has so many other responsibilities. By that logic, Queen should improve as the weeks go on. And he better, considering the Steelers paid him $13.84 million in guaranteed money when they signed him to a 3-year contract this spring." Pittsburgh Steelers safety sustains ankle injury that will force him to miss time. Pittsburgh Steelers safety Damontae Kazee rolled his ankle in warm-ups while preparing for the team's game against the Dallas Cowboys, and while he did play through the injury against Dallas, Kazee is doubtful to play against the Las Vegas Raiders. Head coach Mike Tomlin said that Kazee's ankle swelled up significantly in the days after his injury, and that he is not in a good place as it stands now, which could mean that Kazee will miss time with the injury. With Kazee likely out, the Steelers will work Terrell Edmunds into the 3 safety packages next to Deshaun Elliott and Minkah Fitzpatrick. Even with Kazee, the Steelers have busted multiple coverages on the back end of their defense, which is not a great sign for a team with veterans, even if those pieces are mostly new around each other. The Steelers will try to get Edmunds caught up fully to speed in those packages. He has played as the starting dimebacker over the last few weeks, with Corey Trice Jr. on injured reserve. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Damontae Kazee? Leave your opinion in the comments.